Hey there guys, welcome to CBS Talk. This week we are talking about bee farming, and every Tuesday we're going to be bringing you this amazing show, man, learning about bee farming, what you need to know. And hii biashara ya wazae peke yao. It is even for you kijana, it's applicable to everyone. Provided tutatake time yako kuochisho, tukisonga pale na Novala, tukisoma pale about bee farming. See you every Tuesday as we study bee farming. Na mwaligani mtazamaji wetu, nachukua wadhifa kualika siku ya leo as we do our interview live from Novala Bee Works, tukiangalia a little bit about bee farming, beekeeping to call it general. Tutakuwa hapa tunaangazia what are some of the basic things that you need to do. Guess what guys, on CBS Talk tujaribu kuondoka hapo. Stay there as we gonna be directing you. My name is Caleb Msogi, CBS, na tuko na Mr. William. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Yes.
Na karibu Novala Bee Works.
Ndio.
Naitwa William Muthama.
Yes.
Na mimi ni mwanzilishi wa kampuni ya Novala Bee Works.
Yeah.
Na tuko hapa upande ya Athiriver.
Yes.
Along Mombasa Road. Mahali inaitwa Devki.
Devki, yeah?
Karibu na mahali fulani inaitwa hapa Zebra.
Yes.
Hautapotea.
Yes.
Nyumba ya yellow ni peke yake.
Wow.
Karibuni.
Kuna yule anajiuliza Novala imeanza lini, imekuwepo kuanzia lini?
So we started our activities, beekeeping activities, back in 2020 during the COVID period.
Yes.
We did have a pollination failure on the farm in Makueni, and someone recommended that we consider to have a few beehives.
Yes.
And see whether we would improve our harvest after that. So that is how we got into beekeeping.
Yes.
In the year 2020 during the COVID time.
Yes.
And it has grown.
6 years now.
Yes. So for those past years, we have been in beekeeping.
Yes.
So what happened is we had a good harvest of honey shortly after we installed our first beehives.
Yes.
And the honey was really, really good. And we decided to expand, increase the number of beehives after that. And that is how we have now grown our business. Something else that also happened, we bought 3 beehives. And the workmanship on the beehives was not very good. So back then I was in employment. I would come home in the evening and repair these beehives.
Wow. Before what made you to now say that let me major on apiculture?
As a business, it is where we have our apiary. It is a good place for beekeeping. So that's why we decided, in addition to other agricultural activities, let us consider apiculture. And then we found that that area we could produce good quality honey from there.
Yes.
So it has grown on that.
Wow. And then he says that ningependa to start bee farming. Now, where should they start?
Where should you start if you want to get into beekeeping? Number one, you need to have land.
Land.
You need to have some land where you can locate your beehives. All you need is land. It doesn't matter exactly where, but it just has to be a place that can support bees.
Yes.
So the first thing you need is some land. And you don't need a lot of land. Land, I have seen a lot of people doing a lot of things in beekeeping. I have seen people with 1 acre in beekeeping, and it is sufficient for their purposes. So it just depends on how well you utilize your land. I have gone to places where it is a place surrounded by industries and commercial facilities, and then you find someone is also keeping bees there. I have seen people who are putting beehives on their rooftops. A lot of people are also suffering from, in urban areas, wherever you have a gable roof, a lot of people have bees inside their gable roof, even in the urban areas. So beekeeping, you just need some space that bees consider to be safe. And now that is now where, if you're going to locate your beehives in a rural area, you have to consider how safe are your bees.
So ya kwanza ni land, then
Land.
security.
Security.
Yes.
How safe are the bees? Because there are a lot of predators that prey on bees. Predators include from mammals, things like the honey badger, things like the mongoose. They prey on bees. Then you have other insects, a lot of insects. For example, sugar ants, carpenter ants, safari ants, termites, all these prey on bees. So you have to protect your beehives, you have to protect your bees and the beehives to ensure that they are secure.
Yes.
Probably I can demonstrate what we use to ensure the beehives are secure.
From those pests and
From the pests, yes.
Let's see what you ensure that it is safe from those pests and diseases.
To ensure that your beehives are safe, you need to install your beehives on a stand. This is a beehive stand. We call this an ant-proof trap. The most important component of a beehive stand is this cap over here. We call it an ant-proof trap. So the best practice is to apply grease in this trap and on this portion. And basically what that grease does is that it traps any insects that want to access the beehive. Generally, the grease stops all insects from accessing the beehives. And then the good thing is that bees are not attracted to grease in any way. So bees are not adversely affected by the grease that you apply in this place. So you will put this in concrete, probably 30 centimeters of concrete at the bottom. And then the other thing that you may also consider, you can see there's this hole here. There's a small hole drilled into this part of the metal. And through this, you can secure your beehive by screwing it onto the beehive stand. Once you screw the beehive through here, through these two spaces, your beehive will not move. The mongooses and the honey badgers are unable to knock the beehive from the beehive stand, and your beehive is secure. So make sure that your beehives are safe, your colonies are safe by investing in a good quality beehive stand.
This stand inafaa ikuwe specific type of iron or is just any type of iron and it's painted. Why is it a must be painted?
Okay, let me begin with the last question.
Yes.
Why it is painted is just to protect the metal from rust. So we basically just paint to protect it from rust, which corrodes metal. And the kind of material we use,
Yes.
metal is strong and it can bear a bit of weight.
Yes.
All you need is a metal shaft that metal tube that is 1 1/4 inch or 1 1/2 inch, and it will bear the weight of a complete Langstroth beehive like this or this one. So when the Langstroth beehives are colonized and they have honey, They will weigh as much as 60 to 70 kilograms. And you need a stand that can carry that weight. And that's why we say that for it to bear that weight, you need to have concrete of about 30 centimeters from the bottom of the stand to somewhere over here. That holds, anchors the weight of the beehive securely. I have seen people who have installed beehive stands into the soil without concrete. When the beehive is full of bees and bees have begun storing honey, when you have not put concrete at the base, you have just put soil or stones, then the beehive stand begins leaning towards one side. Eventually it will fall over unless you take corrective action at that point. So the metal that we use, you can either use, we use a tube,
Yes.
a metal tube that is 1.5 inches. It is sufficient. It is able to carry the weight of a beehive. Remember that a beehive is very heavy. When it is empty, it's about 25 to 30 kilos, depending on the timber you have used. Then once you have bees inside, the bees have now put in their wax. They began storing food,
Yes.
Honey and pollen. The beehive could be as much as 60 kilos.
60.
So you need something that is strong and durable that can hold that weight. So you must ensure you have a good quality beehive stand and you put it in concrete, set it in concrete for the concrete to anchor the weight of that beehive.
Okay.
And that way is how you will ensure that under most conditions your beehive is safe.
Wow. And the bees should stay there for how long? The bees now.
What I have observed, one of our beehives we installed back in 2020, the bees are still inside.
2020
to today. So what you need to do is to do basic maintenance. Make sure there are no weeds growing around the beehive stand.
Yes.
One, and then number two, make sure that there are no weeds touching the beehive stand, which provide a bridge to pests.
Yes.
And then lastly, because bees do not like very old wax comb, you can remove part of the old wax comb periodically. Not all, but part of it, because that's their primary store of food.
Yes.
So you just remove part of the older wax comb periodically, then probably in the next season you can remove the other half of the old wax comb.
Now back to the thing, you talked about some of the things that someone needs to consider as they set up the is it the apiary? The bee what? Now we have talked about land, we talked about the security. Now let's continue that.
So the other thing you have to consider is, do you have food for your bees? Is there forage for your bees? Where will they
feed them now?
You don't feed the bees, but you should ensure that you have food in the surrounding area. Bees need flowers. Bees need a lot of flowers. So you have to make sure that you have flowers that will be blooming for most of the time in the year. So wherever you have an agricultural activity, especially in the drier places, whenever it rains, you have a lot of flowers. But you may also need to invest in plants that bloom, that flower when agricultural activity is very low, especially in the month of August, September, and part of the early part of October when it's very dry.
Which plants are these?
You know, there are a number of plants that do, say for example, something like bougainvillea. It will have flowers for an extended period of time.
Yes.
There's this plant that is in Ukambani that is called mokengeta. It also flowers for a long period of time. You also have another flower called mwange. It also flowers for most of the year, except when it is raining. And by that time, you have a lot of other flowers that bees can feed from.
Yes.
There's also another tree called mobote, which also tends to flower when it is very dry in August, September. That is when it flowers. So in addition to the agricultural activity, in addition to agricultural activities, you may also need to invest in plants that will be flowering at the point in time when there is no flowers from agricultural activity and it is very dry, and most of the other plants and trees do not have flowers. So you can consider investing in those plants that flower in the dry season, in August, September, and October.
Now, Apple, there's a question that is now appearing, and when you talk about those plants now, which stands to be the best places where you can start now the beekeeping? Like this country, which are some of the places?
I have seen beekeeping everywhere in this country. Of course, where you have a lot of land, it's ideal for beekeeping. So in places like Machakos, Makueni, Kitui, places like Tana River, places like Taita Taveta, Kwale, Kilifi, they are excellent for beekeeping activities. Then also other places that are very good for beekeeping activities, I have seen people do very well in beekeeping in places like Moranga and also in Kikuyu. There are quite a number of people who have begun beekeeping in these areas, and they are doing well. So where you have land, you have food for the bees, those places are good for beekeeping activities. And the bee is very versatile. It can survive in a wide range of environmental conditions.
Yes.
But you just make sure that you're working with the native bee in that area.
Wow.
For example, if you take a bee, let's say from Baringo, and take it to a place like Kibwezi, it may not be very well adapted for that change in conditions. Yes, so you need to work with the native bee in that particular area. It is all the bee, the honey bee we work with generally in this part of the country is the East Africa lowland bee. And its distribution is to more or less every part of this country.
Wow, that's nice. We have been with Muthama, who is the founder of Novala Bee Works, as we talk about the basic of bee farming, what you need to know and what you need to do. We are going for a short break. With a short break, we are coming. Thank you so much for watching. We go live from Pale de Big along Mombasa Road for Novala Bee Works. Tukiwa na William, who is the founder of Novala Bee Works. Now, let's continue, Mr. William. Now, which other things that a beginner needs to know before once you clear about bee farming?
We have said that the first thing you need is some land.
Yes.
Then you need to think about the security of the bees and of the people around the apiary. Then you need to think about forage, flowers, which provide food for the bees.
Yes.
Then the next thing you need to think about is the availability of water. Bees use a lot of water. You need to ensure that your bees have water supply throughout the year. So the places that do best for beekeeping are places that are along rivers.
Yes.
Where you have a permanent river or a permanent stream, those areas are excellent for beekeeping activities. If you are not located near a river or a stream that is permanent, you can locate your apiary, you can excavate a dam on your own land and store water.
What the size of that dam if I decide, let me go and dig it?
The size of dam will depend on your financial muscle, but the more permanent the dam, the better. If it is a dam that will eventually dry up, it will only provide bees with water for a limited period of time, then you will have now to consider other strategies to provide surface water. So there is no river, there is no dam near where you're doing your beekeeping activity.
Yes.
You will need to provide your bees with water.
As a farmer now.
As a farmer. The way you provide goats and cows with water, you'll provide your bees with water.
Yes.
And how you will do that is that you will take a 20 liter bucket. It should be a food grade bucket. No, the type we buy cooking oil in.
Hii mitungi ya kawaida tu.
Hii mitungi, jerrycan.
Yes.
What, jerrycan 20 liter. The ones for cooking oil, these are ideally food grade. And you cut the top out. Once you cut the top out, you will put in either stones so that the bees will be standing on these stones as they get the water. Bees do not get water directly from the source.
Sasa hiyo mtungi, you place it down or you hang it?
You place it down. You can place it down, you can place it up. It doesn't matter so much.
Yes.
Bees will know the smell of water and they will go to where the water is.
Yes.
And but what is important is that you have to ensure that the bees do not drown in the water. And you can ensure that by either putting stones so that the bees will be drinking the water while standing on the stones.
Tumawe tule tudogo. Okay.
And then the second thing you can do, you can cut a piece of timber that is round in shape and just let it float on top of that water. And bees will get the water from that piece of timber. And that ensures that your bees are provided with water.
Now the water that I provide as a farmer, is it, there was this called add water and the other one. Now is it just really a maji, a chumvi, or any kind of water?
You should not care so much about the water. Just provide them with clean, fresh water. Bees do take hard water as long as it is clean.
Yes.
Preferably use rainwater. But bees do take hard water. So provided it is clean water, it's not contaminated, provide your bees with water.
Wow.
Not so much whether it's hard or not. Another thing, bees will, when bees are taking that water from the ground surrounding a river, they are also extracting minerals as they take this water. So remember, bees also need minerals, just the same way we need minerals in order to thrive and grow and remain healthy.
Wow.
So now, provide your bees with water.
Now this water the bees take, pia this water, is it used in the katika in that the beehive also, or it is for them?
You see, all living organisms need some water. Our cells are mostly water. So all living organisms need water.
Yes.
Then as a bee farmer, if you do not provide them with water, they will take the honey as a source of water.
Oh.
And you do not want them taking the honey, which is their food source.
Yes.
Especially in the dry season. So you want them to preserve the honey so that they can have a source of sustenance in the very dry months, in August, September, October, before the rain set in. So that is the point where providing bees with water is most necessary.
Wow.
Especially during the dry season.
Nice.
You do not want them to deplete their food reserve, which is honey.
Wow. Now let's go to the any other requirements.
So the last one is the beehives.
Oh, the beehives. Okay. Before we proceed to the beehives, we've talked about the pests. Those attack the beehive. Now we've talked about sure it is in a good place, hakuna weeds. What about our wanyama ambao wanakuja?
Haya, wanyama wale wanakuja, the animals that you need to think about, worry the most about as a beekeeper, other than the insects, you need to consider, do you have mongoose in that area? And do you have the honey badger in that area? Of the mammals that prey on beehives, those are the two most notorious. Mongoose is like the size of a cat.
Yes.
And the honey badger is even more destructive. It is the size of a dog. So you need to worry about them. So the key thing is this. You need to make sure that they cannot access your beehive. So what some people do is that they build an apiary and they put chain link on the sides and even cement that chain link into the ground.
Yes.
So that the honey badger and the mongoose do not burrow underground and emerge in the apiary itself. So you can protect by installing a fence around the beehive. Chain link, for example. The honey badger can climb up a tree.
Yes.
And that is why you need also to provide a roof over your apiary.
Okay.
And if that is not possible, there are other more cost-effective strategies that you can use. We have talked about the beehive stand. I can demonstrate with this beehive stand.
Yes.
You can have holes drilled into the beehive stand. For example, you can see this hole here.
Yes.
And you will screw the beehive onto the beehive stand. You just need 2 screws. That way, the honey badger is not able to push the beehive from the stand itself. You have protected your beehive from the honey badger.
Yes.
Then the other thing is you can either tie the roof of the beehive with a cable or any other material you may use. Just tie this roof round so that the honey badger cannot lift, the honey badger or the mongoose cannot lift the roof of the beehive. So as long as that it cannot lift the roof and it cannot push the beehive from the beehive stand, you have defeated the honey badger.
Sure.
So consider a beehive stand that has holes drilled into it so that you can screw the base of the beehive onto the beehive stand.
Wow. Nice one. Now we can go to the beehives. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. So this is a log hive. It's the traditional log hive. It's carved from the stem of a tree that has a stem that is wide enough to carve this out. Generally, it will have a cover on both sides. Bees love the log hive because the conditions in a log hive are the conditions in the stem of a tree. Remember, before people began keeping bees in hives, bees were already here. Scientists tell us that bees have been here 30 million years. 30 million years, they've not needed us. So they have been living in the trunks of trees. They will find a crack in a tree and they will establish the colony inside there. That becomes their hive.
Now, what's a colony?
A colony is that family of bees. We call it a colony.
Oh.
Because they could be 10,000 to 30,000. They could be up to 30,000 bees in one single colony. In our context. That's why we call it a colony. It's larger than a family.
A family of bees, we call it a colony.
A colony. So they would establish their colonies inside the trunks of trees.
Yes.
They've done that, you know, for 30 million years.
Before tufike.
Mbele hata tufike.
Yes.
So it is only we who have now come and we're trying to have these bees more accessible, and that's why we give them beehives, for example. So why bees love the log hive is because the conditions inside the log hive are similar to the trunk of a tree. And which is what they have evolved naturally to wish to establish their colony in. They love, so they tend to colonize log hives quite fast. And then number two, in a log hive, they tend to produce a lot of honey. So
why it seems there is no order as compared to the others, so you find the queen, all that is different.
Yes.
Why here they can produce milk?
Because of the conditions inside the hive, inside the log hive.
Which condition?
Number one, because of the shape. It's almost a circular shape or an oval shape. It's not a perfect circle, but it's close to a circle. That shape tends to preserve heat. It is not too cold, it's not too warm.
Yes. When
it's very hot outside, it's not too hot inside. When it's very cold outside, it's not too cold inside. It's that space, an almost circular space, will tend to be rather warm. And those are now the conditions. Bees will not spend a lot of resources creating heat. They will not spend most of their energy flapping their wings to create heat. So it's a condition that is ideal for the bees. And that's why they love the log hive.
Wow.
So as much as we are practicing modern beekeeping,
yes,
we cannot discount the fact that bees do like the log hive.
The traditional
the
one.
Traditional hive.
Which our grandfathers used to use.
Have used, yes. And they would also harvest a lot of honey from it.
Wow, nice one. Now to ask you a question on this, can this also be attacked by the mongoose, by those pesticides also?
Yes, yes. These are attacked. In terms of protecting the colony, protecting the bees, this seems to be one of the beehives that you have very little protection for your beehive. Remember, this is placed on a tree. Sometimes it is hung, you know, with a hook, a wooden hook from a tree. Then this is tied on the wooden tree, or it is placed on a V on a tree where there are two branches. This is placed on that. So when you place it on a tree directly, all those insects are able to access easily.
Okay.
Insects are able to access. Honey badger will climb the tree. The mongoose will climb a tree. So in terms of defenses for your beehive, the security of your beehive, unlike the security presented by a colony inside the trunk of a tree, these log hives provide very few defenses.
Wow.
But what you can do as a bee farmer, you can place this in an apiary. So what I have seen, people place this at the very top of the apiary, where there's limited space. So once you have run out of shelves to place your bees, other beehives, this will be placed at the very top of an apiary, and there it is secure.
Wow, you've said this is one of the types of beehives that the colony will come first. Now, suppose they may set up in a place whereby there's everything that bees require. How long is it taken for them to settle?
Depending on the strength of your colony, you are likely to harvest honey in about 6 months to 1 year.
No, ndio ziingie sasa nyuki.
Oh, for colonization, we call it colonization.
Colonization.
How long does it take for your bees to colonize a beehive? Now, it depends on so many factors, but the most important is bees. This is what people need to know. Bees will colonize beehives during a swarming season. So the question you ask yourself, are we in a swarming season?
Okay.
Can you see bees flying overhead? The best indication that you are in a swarming season is that you will find bees flying overhead. That way, even when you see the first swarm flying over, you see a second, we must be in a swarming season. Yes. So when it is very dry, there is no food for bees, you are outside a swarming season. Do not expect colonization.
Oh.
So what you do to attract bees into your beehive, you use a bait.
A bait.
We call it a bee bait. And there are a number of bee baits you could use. Number one, we use bee wax to bait beehives.
Outside, inside, or where?
It is applied inside.
Oh.
Inside. And it has to be bee wax that is not contaminated. You know, you may apply bee wax that is contaminated and you introduce infection into your beehive, especially the wax moth. So make sure that the bee wax you're using is not contaminated.
Oh.
Preferably that bee wax that has been filtered of all debris and it is clean. That wax.
Now, that wax applies to this traditional or to all
beehives.
Oh.
Traditional, modern, it applies to all of them.
Wow.
The other item that works is propolis.
Propolis.
Propolis is a resin that bees gather from trees. It's a resin, usually when certain trees, when a new leaf is budding out, certain trees will have a resin that is around that bud.
Yes.
So bees wrap that resin with their body and they bring it to the hive. They mix it with a little beeswax and their saliva, and they apply it wherever there's air getting into the beehive and wherever there's light getting into the beehive. So they seal that beehive with propolis. And you can apply it as a bait to a beehive. It tells the bee that this place is supposed to be occupied by bees.
Oh, this is your home.
This is your home.
Come running.
It smells, we say it
Yes.
smells like bee.
Ah.
Because these are products that came from a bee. Beeswax comes from a bee.
Yes.
Propolis does have beeswax that also comes from a bee. And bees have a very strong sense of smell.
Wow. Nice.
Then, the other thing we use is to bait beehives is something we call mortar. This is the African basil. It grows naturally in many places in the country. And there are components in the African basil that smell like the pheromone bees use to mark a beehive for colonization.
Yes.
Usually when a scout bee finds a place that is suitable for colonization, they will mark it with a pheromone. So what the Africa basil has, it has chemicals that smell like that pheromones that bees use to mark a beehive. So you can also attract bees using African basil. Just taking the African basil plant and rubbing it on the surfaces inside.
Unasugua ndani. Okay.
Then you can also use lemongrass oil.
Lemongrass oil.
Lemongrass oil.
That's now bought from a shop.
Yeah, you can buy it from a shop. Or you can also use the raw lemongrass itself. Because lemongrass is a plant. You can also rub it.
Oh, I thought it's a chemical.
Lemongrass is actually, it's a grass.
Yes.
That has a scent to it. It's basically the components that attract bees that have been baited with lemongrass oil are precisely the same that are in the African basil.
Wow.
They're the same components. So they smell like the bee pheromone that scout bees mark a beehive for colonization.
Yes. Also,
that pheromone is also the scent of the queen, the bee queen. She also smells similar to that. So whenever bees find a scent that smells like bee, they will consider that space for colonization.
Nice one. Wow. Another thing we consider before we go to the other type of beehive?
Yes. So what has happened over time is because the timber necessary to make the log hives has become scarce over time. There are people who want to use them, but the supply is limited.
So that's a challenge.
That's a challenge. And when you get them, they are also pretty expensive.
Yes.
They are pretty expensive. So a lot of people consider to go to the other hives that are not necessarily log hives.
Wow, nice. So you can go to the other type of beehive?
We can go to the other types of beehives.
Yes.
So we can start. This is the Kenya top bar hive.
Kenya top bar hive. Yes.
And it is in this shape. It has the shape of a bee, a V. Takes the shape of a V, and bees love that shape of a V.
Yes.
Because it is close to a log hive. So bees love that shape. It tends to retain warmth for the bees. And bees tend to colonize Kenya top bar hive also quite fast. And under the ideal situation,
yes,
you can produce a lot of honey from a Kenya top bar hive.
Now Katia, we've dealt with the traditional one. After hiyo, this one was the second one, ama?
Well, this is a Kenyan invention.
Oh, it has been invented by a Kenyan.
That is why it was called the Kenya top bar hive.
Oh,
And it was a Kenyan innovation.
yes.
And bees love it. Again, because it mimics that log where bees have been living, you know, for millions and millions of years.
Yes.
And another thing why bees love the Kenya top bar is because of these holes.
Yes.
When you look at where bees get into the trunk of a tree, where they have colonized the trunk of a tree, the holes are very similar to these. They're usually holes that are not very large and either not very small. And if it is too large, the bees are able to reduce it using propolis. So this is considered to be, bees consider this to be very similar to the situations they face in nature. Then the other thing with the Kenya top bar hive is this.
Yes.
The way these frames are placed, they are tightly packed. They are tightly packed. And because of that, it's very hard for predators to access the beehive from the top. In order for the bees to find an easier time to place their wax, I will demonstrate this. We install a V profile. So we have this V profile on this frame, top bar. So we have this V profile where we apply wax. So when bees colonize the beehive, they will attach their bee wax on this frame, and the wax is going to be built downwards. So the Kenya top bar provides security from predators from the top by having the frames tightly packed to each other. There is literally no space for predators to get in, and whatever other little space that is between the top bars, bees are going to fill those spaces with propolis. The Kenya top bar has two sections. Up to this point, this is the brooding. So up to this point, this is the brooding chamber. We install a queen excluder at this point. The queen excluder prevents the queen from accessing the honey section. So the queen is going to be contained in this part of the beehive. The honey storage area is this part. Usually you have more frames for honey storage than for brooding purposes. Under the right conditions, you have a lot of space to collect honey of the stand.
Let's go to kuna mtu ambaye
Asante.
kuna yule ambaye anakutazama kwa mara ya kwanza, hajawahi kuona, anauliza ni nani huyu?